folks, I've just trying to work out my solar panels for the roof of this van. Now I've been to, keep in mind I don't know anything about solar panels at all. This will be the first time I've installed them. But what I've done is I might have gone to 5 or 6 different shops, some shops more than once, to ask what I need and how to do it and what's the first steps and how do I mount them to the roof, and I have had a different explanation nearly every time, which makes it extremely hard to know what to do when you ask these people how to do it and everyone's got a different version. I went to one guy today who I also saw last week, and he said the maximum I will need is a solar panel of 160 watts, I think he said, which means nothing to me. I don't know what that means. I went back today to see him to buy a solar panel and a battery, and just to see if I had the same information as last week, I asked him what I needed. Whether he remembered it or not, I don't know, but today he said I need a minimum of 300 watts, and I can't use this battery, I've got to use this battery, and I need this thing and this thing and this thing, which is all brand new compared to what he said last week. And the price last week was about, I think it was like $1,000 for the special battery, and $150 for something else, and the solar panels were $600. Anyway, this week the price was nearly double the amount. So I left that shop and I thought, for fuck's sake, when you know nothing, you don't want contradictory advice from the same person, because it makes you don't know what you're doing. So I went to another shop and asked them, and the lady was very helpful, but she said something different. So anyway, fucking who knows? I'm telling you, I went to the local four-wheel drive shop and they had a solar panel set up, which seemed very straightforward. Solar panel set up, one cord that went from the solar panel into this battery. The battery was a fancy battery that you could plug your inlet straight into, and that was it. It didn't look that complicated. But they couldn't install the whole thing unless I waited about a month and a half. And the caravan shop couldn't install them unless they had a 3-month wait. So I thought, well, maybe if it's the same as the one I saw in the full drive shop, it's not really that complicated. So I went and I bought a kit, which is a caravan solar panel kit, and this is the panel that goes on the roof. There's the box. Now the instructions are close to fucking useless. I don't know why they go through all the work to print something up and write it up and pay for it, but they haven't got the brains to fucking make it simple for a beginner. They either should say on the box it's not for a beginner, or write the instructions in a way that you can understand it. Now they say attach it to the roof, but they don't tell you how. And keep in mind, I don't know what I'm doing, so you hope the instructions include some sort of advice. That's what instructions are for people who don't know how to do it. So I don't want to screw it to the roof, so I'm going to use some sort of adhesive, but I don't know what yet. And then it comes with this thing. Right, no big deal. However, in the instructions, it doesn't tell you what to do with it. It's such a fucking nuisance. It really is. It's supposed to be it's a regulator, right? No problem, that's cool. But they don't tell you where to attach it. Do I attach it to the solar panel? Do I attach it in the car? I have no idea. Coming off the solar panel is 2 wires. On this thing, there's 6 wires, which is fine, but in the instructions, it doesn't tell you a single thing about what to do with this or where to put it. It's fucking, you know, it's one thing if I can't work out how to do it because I'm just not skilled enough, that's fine, you know, then I'll take it somewhere and get it done. But when they don't even explain it, what you're supposed to do with it, where you're supposed to attach it, and where the wires run to, or from, it makes it incredibly fucking complicated. And I find this time and time again with all these things that I buy, the instructions are so useless, or so unhelpful, or so uninformative. They miss bits out. It's just such a fucking nuisance. And it makes everything take twice as long, simply because they haven't explained anything in the instructions. They've left huge things out. So I don't know what I'm going to do now. I'm going to have to ask a friend or look it up or something, but nobody of anything should write instructions if they're not complete. It's just a waste of everyone's time. So next I have to mark out the panel on the roof, see where it's going to go. See if it's going to fit between the grooves, because there's grooves in my roof. Work out what to attach it with, because they don't tell you. Work out where to put this, because they don't tell you. Work out where the wires go to and from, because they don't tell you. And then buy a battery that when you go to every single shop, they tell you something different. Anyway, I'll put it on the roof and see how it fits.